So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And you of the tender years can know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams. The one they pick's the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. Announcements.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Tanis, and it's March! Yay! And this is the public service announcement that next Saturday night when you go to bed, turn your clocks forward. We always get at least one poor, confused person Sunday morning who arrives, has services ending, it's like, what happened? So yes, daylight savings starts next week. I'm going to call up the lovely and talented Linda Visosky to the microphone to talk to you about all the lovely clothes that are out in our lobby.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So the day is here. There's been people wanting to buy before, but the answer is N-O. Not till after the service. So first of all, I want to thank 3 people who've donated their time, their talents, some treasures as well, to make this event what it is today. So Judy Pressman, where are you? I want to say thank you to Judy. Judy Southern for her talent and treasures. Thank you, Judy. And for Lynette Donello, too. Thank you, Lynette.
And Linda Visosky.
You know, it's just my pleasure to be of service to this community. It really is. So this is one of our major fundraisers. We appreciate Patricia brought some new clothes in today, so there's a lot of new stuff that's come in. Now, I'm sporting a lovely little bag that I'm prepared to depart with, that again is a Mexican treasure, but it holds a cell phone and any little walk-around money. It's a cute little accessory, so just talk to me about it. It's going really reasonably. So thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you after service, and now I get the great pleasure in welcoming up this wonderful man who is our Reverend Jonathan Zenz. Just a minute, I would be going home if I got that kind of a response. So let's welcome Reverend Jonathan Zenz.
Is the first Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Today is the day that we celebrate anybody who is having a birthday or an anniversary in the month of March. The way that we do this is we do a drawing. And what this drawing does is if you are celebrating a birthday or an anniversary, you have, I trust, put your name on a piece of paper and put it into this basket over here. Is there anyone who has not done that and is celebrating this month? Beautiful. Well, that's super easy. On that piece of paper also is the name of a registered charity in Canada, and if your name and charity is drawn out of that today, a portion of today's offering goes to that charity directly. So, doesn't that sound like a good thing?
Yes.
So let's honor all of these people who are having birthdays and anniversaries by doing our music.
You say it's your birthday, anniversary to ya. You say it's your birthday, we're gonna have a good time. I'm glad it's your birthday, happy birthday to ya.
All right. Beautiful. Lynette, if you would please join me up here. I'm going to take the basket away from you. Are you celebrating this month? I am. You are, so you're not allowed to draw. But it was a lovely idea. Susan, are you celebrating this month? Please join me up
She
here for a moment.
celebrates every day.
And please choose one piece of paper. Oh. So I went away last year to do a pulpit swap. James Mellon was here, and the week I came back, these two had announced that they were an item. So celebrating their one-year anniversary, Brian and Lori are the winners today. And the registered charity of their choice is Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. Can I give that to you?
It's all about the
Thank you.
bass.
That's good. That's good. I love it. I love it. Okay, who's here visiting us for the first time today? Beautiful. Welcome. Thank you for joining us and bringing your consciousness here to celebrate with us. Tony is coming around. He's got a little gift for you, a little bit of information about our center. Yes. And it's also got a 10% off coupon for our bookstore. We've got a couple others up here, Tony, as well. Some things that do not show up in your announcements, because I just decided upon them this morning. And so they were not published. Number one, we are going to be doing a men's group beginning on March 26th. It's going to be the final Thursday of every month, so the first men's group will be meeting on March 26th. I've also decided that I would like to do a sung-through service the last Sunday of every quarter. Means the whole service is music. We called it Taizé, right? But what we did was not really Taizé in the traditional sense, so we're going to call it the sung-through service. So the next sung-through service is on March 29th.
Taizé-ish.
Taizé-ish, yes. The other thing I want to let you know about is the conference committee came together this week. We're the ones who are organizing the 2015 Canadian New Thought Conference, and we've decided on something. If you have not purchased your registration, now you're going to feel even more compelled to do so. If you have purchased your registration, here's the good news. Every registration that is purchased, we are entering those registrations, those names, into a drawing for an all-expense-paid trip to Kauai next January for the Sacred Retreat.
Sorry, that includes those of us who already have bought?
If you've already purchased your registration, you're already entered. Now, just to make the pot even a little more enticing, we're going to be working this week to get special codes out to everybody who has purchased a registration. If you send that code to your friends and they purchase a registration using that code, your friend will be entered into the contest and you will receive an additional entry into the drawing. Does that sound like a good plan?
It does.
Yay! All right, so just wanted to let you know, I'm so excited about it. So that's all happening this week. And I think that's it. So welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. And welcome to our Sunday celebration. Welcome to the time that we have chosen to be together to celebrate the idea, one idea. We have one idea that we really, really hold to, and that is God is all there is. There is nothing but this divine creative resource, and we're all utilizing it and living its life. That's what I celebrate here on a Sunday morning, and I get really, really excited about it. Really excited about it. Woo. Yeah. Woo. Woo. A lot of things are going through my head this morning, so I'm going to make one more. It came to my attention that people don't understand sometimes that you can sit up here. There was
Don't be scared.
No, don't be scared. Somebody asked me at once, is that reserved for the practitioners and the musicians? And no, it's not. We don't reserve seats here. If you would like to sit up here, you're welcome to sit here. Anyway, it just occurred to me because Tony is over there all by himself.
Billy Nolan.
You know, and then I'm sitting here thinking, where do I go from there? And the only place I can think to go is this place. Let's sing.
For those of you new with us, lyrics to the songs we're doing today is in the program.
Yeah, this is a great song, Down in My Soul.
And if you feel compelled to stand up and, move your body around, you are welcome to do that.
Yeah. I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
I got a new day.
I got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got a new day.
I got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I got a new day.
I got a new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home.
I feel the power.
I feel the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power.
I feel the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power.
I feel the power
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the
whole wide world is my home.
yes it is.
And the whole wide world
Is my home.
The whole wide world is my home. Think about the context of what that means to you in your own personal life. What does it mean to claim that the whole wide world is your home? It's actually something that there's a theme today, clearly, that's developing, and I'm really excited about that. You'll have to figure out what that theme is at the end of the day. Today, we have a presentation. We have our practitioners and practitioner interns come up and spread their words of wisdom every single week. And today is a special day because this particular practitioner has been an integral part of this center from the time really when I've started, when she was living in Newfoundland and then moved back here. And 16 months ago, she took on the role as the center administrator here at the center. And through the course of discussion with her and through the deepening of her own awareness, she has decided to move on to her next employment adventure. And so this past Thursday was her final day as the administrator at our center. And I just wanted to offer my heartfelt thank you and gratitude to you for all that you have done for this center and all that you mean to me in my own personal life. And I told you I wasn't going to let you cry. But I see it welling up.
Yep.
She is still an integral part of this center and is still continuing her studies to become a practitioner, a licensed practitioner of this philosophy. And here to offer her words of wisdom, please welcome Carmen Noseworthy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Down in my soul. Yes. So my quote this morning actually was inspired from the newsletter, from a quote by Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. And the quote is, "It is our duty to behave as though limits to our ability do not exist. Because, in truth, they don't. The creative power of life itself, the creative power of all things, that means no exceptions, zero exceptions, is everywhere present at the same time. It is infinite in its ability to create. Zero exceptions. Zero. Our ability is only limited by our beliefs and our level of conviction in those beliefs. Zero exceptions. Yes, it is our duty to behave as though limits to our ability do not exist. Zero exceptions. Breathe that in for a second. Following on Helen's question last week, I'm going to ask you, can you convince yourself that there are zero exceptions to your abilities? That your talents and your genius are expressions of life itself, awaiting fulfillment. And they are fueled by the creative power of life, always overflowing with gas. And this gas is at no charge because God's gas is free.
God's gas is free.
Thanks, Ralph. Oh, okay, so can you allow yourself to shift into a playful relationship with this power, like we did when we were kids, right? Why did we play? It was fun. It was a freedom to use our imagination and to explore. It was fun. It is our duty to behave as though it is our duty to behave as though limits to our ability do not exist, with a playful conviction of possibility and excellence. Zero exceptions. So I have a friend who is a great example and inspiration of this concept. And he has a very simple perspective about life. And he fully lives into his abilities with absolute conviction. Now, he can be perceived as a scary-looking dude, but he's a very lovable, adoring character. And he puts his whole being into everything he does. Excuse me, it's Animal. Some applause, please. Thank you. Hello, Animal. Do you have anything to say today? Mana, mana. Mana, mana. Mana, mana. Well, Animal, that was very awesome. Yeah, drums, awesome. So, Animal, can you tell me what mana means to you? Yummy. Yummy? Okay. What do you mean by that? Yeah, do what you meant to do. Follow beat of own drum. All right. Well, would you agree with this statement then, animal? It is our duty to behave as though limits to our ability do not exist. Yeah, mana, mana. Thank you, animal. Welcome. So, yes. Sorry. There is one last thing I want to leave you with. I heard this morning as I was going out the door. When you give up your dreams, it's a short walk to disappointment. Yes. And so, from the infinite wisdom of the Moody Blues, take your share of the gifts that are there. They all belong to you. The only way to get there is to take that step to the other side of life. Thank you.
So, relax. Release and allow. Allow that wisdom of animal to flow through you. As you take a breath, find what it is within you that has been touched by what Carmen has said and allow that to resonate with you in this moment, whatever it is. Step away from limiting yourself to any preconceived idea and step into the allness that you are.
Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are.
So I invite you to take a breath, having centered ourselves with the music, and be open to these words in this affirmative prayer, this spiritual mind treatment from Carmen.
Love. Love only. There is only love. It is the energy and power of life. It is the energy of creation. It is the energy that we call God. Love only. Love is what we are. And this is what I know that each and every one of us remembers right here, right now. We are only love. And we remember this. And remember it deep in our heart. And remember it deep in our souls, deep in every pore of our being that has no choice but to exude and move out into the world so that we do things that fill us up, make us happy, knowing that we're giving our all to our talents and our genius and our gifts, and therefore giving to life in such a loving and kind and generous way, because this is what we are here to do. Love only. Nothing else matters. Remember who we are. I am so thankful that we remember who we are each and every day, and especially on Sundays, in community and in joy and laughter and fun. I say thank you. Thank you, the words of gratitude that mean it's already done and accepted and received and given, and just cycling around. Love only. This is what I know to be true. I invite everyone to know this to be true right here, right now, and simply let it be so as we remember who we are by saying, and so it is.
Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Love only, forgive everything. Remember who you are.
Thank you, Carmen. You know, I mentioned last week that we've taken that on as our mission in this center, love only, forgive everything, remember who you are, which is the way that we achieve our vision. There is, and I want to tell you, I had a healing this morning. I had a healing this morning, and it was actually in relationship to that song. Because I was harboring a little resentment around something that was happening in my life. And when I sang that song and I took to heart the words, love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are, that resentment had to dissipate. This is the lesson that we teach here, that when we really step into love, forgiveness, and an understanding that we are the point at which the creative process, the creative power is expressing fully, that's when we heal our lives. And so I just wanted to share that with you, that I had a healing this morning, and I've let that, whatever that was, go. Now I feel like I want to cry. The song that is the featured song of the day is one of my favorites, and it's very personal to me because this song really this album was released not long before I received my practitioner license, my first practitioner license, which now feels like a million years ago. It wasn't actually that long ago, but when I was sitting down to take my examination, my written examination, my mentor and teacher, James Mellon, played this song for us, and it was a great reminder in that moment to let it all go and trust. What do I do if I'm not chasing anything? What do I do if I've got everything that I need? It's a question that no one's prepared me to answer. Where do I go if I'm right where I'm supposed to be? Where do I go if wherever I am home? It's a question I'm presently wanting to answer. If the usual way doesn't work for me now, that's a void I know nothing about. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What do I say if it's all perfect anyway? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? It's a question I truly don't know how to answer. How do I live if my life is eternity? How do I live if I'm no longer afraid to die? It's a mystery, no one can give me an answer. If the usual way doesn't work anymore, there's no map for what life has in store. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over, what then? What is the purpose of time here on earth? How do I now define my death and birth? For that matter, what is my life really worth in the end? What's mine to give and what's mine to receive? Whom do I worship? What do I believe? Seems every answer comes right back to me in the end. What if the race is over and we all automatically win? What if the game is ended long before it even begins? What if the test has been taken and we're all passing again and again? If the race is over and we're all born victorious. If the race is over, what then?
Are y'all okay? Yes, of course you are. So it never fails. I always sing the song. You know, we rehearsed. We sang it, like 3 or 4 times this morning in rehearsal. And I sing it, and in the middle of the service, I see a line that takes me in that moment, and I realize that's the line. That's the catch for me this particular day. And this line today is, what do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone? Oh my gosh, that section is full. What do I say if I'm not here to change anyone, least of all myself? I'm not here to change anybody here. I'm not really here to change myself. What I'm here to is to discover the truth of myself more and more. And that's really what hit me today. We are continuing the Declaration of Principles, these words that were written by Dr. Ernest Holmes in 1927 and published in the original Science of Mind magazine in the very first edition. Today, the declaration that we're talking about is this. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. We believe that God is, did I say impersonal? Okay. I thought, did I just say impersonal? Because that's not what I mean to say. We believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And when I was thinking about that this morning, I thought to myself, wow, you know what? It takes a lot of guts to stand up and be yourself authentically. It takes a lot of guts to do that. And there are people who do that on a public stage. I do it every single Sunday now. I do it in my life. I stand up and I am true to myself. And that's who I choose to show up as. I was not always that way. There are lots of people who were not always that way. But let's step into this paradigm. Let us all commit today to standing up and being true to ourselves, as scary as it might be. As scary as it might be. It doesn't matter who you are. It does not matter who you are. It doesn't matter your race, your color, your ethnicity, your sexual orientation, your disability, sex, gender identity, or expression, national or ethnic origin. It does not matter. Stand up and be true to yourself and the way that you choose to live life and who you show up as in life. And so the premise that I really want this day to be founded on is this. In this place, in this sacred space that we have created as a community, you have a place where you belong. You have a place where you are welcomed and you are honored and cherished exactly for who you are. You do not need to hide. You do not need to be anything other than your authentic self. Because that's what I stand for in this place, is to stand and be my authentic self at all times. And to allow you to see when I have a journey and when I have a healing. That is me being authentic in the moment and recognizing and knowing that this is a point of view from which I can now teach. Because I teach nothing other than we're all here for a purpose, and that purpose is to live life as love. That's it. And this is an important thing for me, to know and to claim and to live this idea that you have a place here, every single one of you. Every one of you online, you all have a place here where you are loved and cherished and honored and welcomed. And yet I have a caveat. What's that? I am keeping you hanging. I have a caveat in this. In standing up and being true to yourself, I am not promising to you that there are times where it won't be easy. There are times where it will be hard to stand up and be true to yourself. In those times, remind yourself, God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. And I use the word God, I use the word God. You can replace that with any synonym for that divine creative power that is within you, because that is who you are. That is the core of who you are. You can say love is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. Joy is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. There is no expression of God any better than you, nor is there any expression of God any worse than you. We are all equal. There is no one closer to God than anyone else. I know the Pope probably doesn't want to hear that. But there is no one who has a closer relationship to God than anybody else. We all have a personal, close relationship to this divine creative power because it's who and what we are. We can never escape it. We may not be consciously aware of it at times, but we can never escape it. And we are utilizing it at all times, whether we are aware of it or not. You cannot be closer to God than you are right now. Oh, no, but I'm here to learn how to be closer to that true spirit of myself. You can't be closer to it. It is who you are. In the same way that you cannot be closer to yourself than your own skin. It is who we are. And it takes guts, too. It takes guts to say that you have a belief in something greater than the self that is expressing as yourself. I've done, a lot of times around the Pride celebration in June, I will talk about the idea that we are all of us in some way coming out of the closet. I had the experience of coming out of the closet as a gay man when I was 1,000,000 years ago. And I do look good for 1,000,000 years, don't I? Sometimes it feels like 1,000,000 years ago. But it's funny. I look at the spectrum and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been out of the closet longer than I was in the closet. But I also talk about the various aspects in which we can all come out of the closet. We can come out of the closet as spiritual. There are people who harbor hidden disabilities and feel that they have to suffer with them alone. And you can come out of the closet around that. There is any number of things that you can come out of the closet around and stand true in your authentic self. And in doing that, you are healed because you've recognized the divinity that is present within you in that moment and in that experience. Because it's all God, it's all love, it is all life, and it is flowing through each and every one of us all the time, 100% of the time, without fail. It can't not, because that's all there is. The divine creative power always unfolding and always stepping us into the next continued moment of evolution. We talked this week in the Essential Ernest Holmes class about the concept of evolution a little bit. Because it's the 10th class in a 10-week series, and the final class tends to deal with the aspects of making your transition from this place, which basically is the way we lovingly refer to dying. And we don't believe that the individualized expression of God ever dies, ever. We may cast off this mortal coil, but it continues. And one of the things that got brought up this week is the idea of reincarnation. And there was the question, do we believe in reincarnation? And in some ways we do, but we do not believe in reincarnation in the traditional sense of reincarnation, which is you come back to have another human experience necessarily. Now, I am not up here to claim that I know what happens. Just to be clear, we might come back and have another human experience. But if we are in the constant expression of evolving at all times, then what I hold to be true for myself and what I will invite you to take into your heart and comprehend is this idea. We cannot devolve ever. So when we are ready to make the transition to whatever the next expression of our life is, we must step into something greater than we have been. That's the way it's got to work, because we carry with us the accumulated knowledge, the accumulated memories, and the accumulated beliefs from this life into the next experience. This is what I believe. And I get to, in that instant moment, also determine what works for me that I want to carry with me into the next experience, and what doesn't work for me that I'm now ready to shed. The greater lesson in this is don't wait. Don't wait for that instant moment. Begin to look at the beliefs that are at play in your life and let go of the ones that do not serve you. Any belief that you are less than does not serve you. Any belief that you are not loved or lovable does not serve you. Let it go. It takes guts to claim a personal relationship to God or spirit or divine creative energy, whatever you choose. And I really, really want to step into the understanding that it is a personal relationship. My relationship to the divine creative power is personal to me. Your relationship to this divine creative power is personal to you. And I bring that up because of this idea. We get a complaint sometimes in this philosophy, besides being, oh, they're all so happy all the time. We get a complaint sometimes that the way that we teach this divine creative power that we call God makes it seem cold and impersonal. And the way that I have come to understand is we teach a creative process. That creative process is the divine creative power that is God. It is not the work of God. It is God. The creative power is God. And it is intensely personal because we are utilizing it for ourselves. What gets more personal than that? And so it's not that we are impersonal. The process is impersonal. The way we use it is personal. And so I invite you to step into that idea that there is something within you that is longing to be expressed. and allow that personal nature to flow forth freely and effortlessly, free of any idea, free of any judgment, and step up and step out. Because on the surface, if you're taking it just the way we teach class, which sometimes can be a little dry, because in the very beginnings of class, I'm like, this is the creative process, and the conscious mind thinks into the subjective mind, and the subjective mind creates the form. If you're in class, you understand that. If you're not in class, don't worry about it. You don't need to understand it to get this idea. That seems very cold and scientific and outside the realm of personalness. And yet one of the main aspects of that is the exact same way that the universal creative power is creating, we are each of us creating. That's the way we create. And so everything that shows up in our experience is the result, first and foremost, of what's happening in our mind, in our belief system, in our approach to life. There is nothing more personal than love. There is nothing more personal than love. And that indwelling presence is love. Love is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. If we move to anything other than love, we have stepped away from this presence. I've been in this position as spiritual director here for now more than 3 years. I speak from the heart. I speak about my life. I tell you about things in my life. And that does include being open about being a gay man, which is a label. Because ultimately, I'm not defined by that wholly. It is an aspect of who I am. And one of the things that has happened is there have been people who have expressed to me, you ready for this? I'm about to be a little flamboyant. Jazz hands. Let's face it, I come from a world of musical theater. But there have been expressions to me that I'm too gay. As if you could be too gay. But it's a funny thing, right? And by saying too gay, I don't mean happy. They're saying I'm a little too flamboyant. And that doesn't appeal to everybody. And you know what? That's fine. It doesn't have to appeal to everybody. I'm grateful for those of you who have joined me here today because apparently it does appeal to you. And it makes me think of my friend Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor is this lovely, lovely man. He has been in the science of mind philosophy for, 30 or so years now. And he is a practitioner with Reverend James Mellon in Southern California, which is where I received my training. And he is actually now, for the second time, going through ministerial studies. He went through ministerial studies with me, and at the end, he decided not to pursue the license. He's going through ministerial studies again, and we'll see. Maybe he'll do the license this time. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Terry, I bring up Terry because of this. He was a man who was very set in his ways. And he was very set in what he thought to be true about the expression of life. And I watched this man blossom and grow. Because when he came to the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought, which is where I was trained the very first time, I was working there as the administrator. I was the Carmen at that center. And I was the one who was responsible for giving the announcements on a Sunday. So I would get up and I would, in my very hopefully entertaining way, get up and tell everybody what was happening in the center. And Terry, at that point, he and his wife were shopping around. Now, in Southern California, you can shop around for a center for spiritual living because they're practically on every street corner. If you're shopping around in Toronto, I'm sorry, this is the only one. For now, I fully expect that to shift. So he was shopping around for a center where he felt comfortable. And so he came and he had a meeting with Reverend James Mellon. And he sat James down, and James is listening to him. And Terry says, he and his wife, we think we have found the place that is for us, and we think it's this place. But there is something that really bugs me. And that's your administrator. Basically what he said is, your administrator is so gay. And James is sitting there listening. Okay. Yeah, he's just so gay when he gets up there, and it just bugs us. And James says, you do know that I'm gay, right? Now, there are different versions of the story, because Terry will swear that he already knew James was gay at that point, but the other side of the story is it's also been said that Terry didn't know that James was gay at that point, and then all of a sudden is going, you are? Anyway, here's the thing. The point of me recounting this, by the way, Terry had a transformation, and Terry is now one of my dearest. I mean, he and I, we embrace each other. He wears pink shirts now. And he would be the first to tell you that at that point in his life, he would never have worn a pink shirt. It seems like an innocuous statement. Wow, he's so gay, right? And yet it's not. It is an indication of judgment. And so it's important for all of us to start to look at those innocuous things that we may be saying that are actual statements of judgment, and to start to really look at what is the belief that is supporting that judgment. Because that belief is not in support of your greatest experience of life. It scares me sometimes a little bit to stand up here and say it still. I've been out of the closet for 24 years. And it's still a daily experience of coming out. And it's not just about being gay. It's still a daily experience of coming out as a spiritual person. It's a daily experience of coming out in any number of ways. And in what way are you perhaps hiding something from the world? And are you ready to step into that and recognize that that is a place of power? So this is what I feel compelled to say this week, because it is the truth of my experience. It was a call to me. It is a call to me to take a look at my own expressions that seem innocuous and maybe subtly indicative of fear. And it really all started last Sunday night. What happened last Sunday night, you might ask? Last Sunday night, I watched perhaps, now this is a judgment, perhaps the most boring Oscars telecast in history. And yet there were pearls within that. First of all, that song by Common and John Legend slayed me. It slayed me. Glory, yeah. I also don't know, this has actually started to come out on the internet. I don't know if any of you have it recorded, watch it again. There's an interesting thing that they did very purposefully in that song, where all the backup singers, they had a mix of backup singers of all ethnicities. And if you watch, they eventually, as they're all coming forward, they eventually put all of the black people up front, and they are the only ones singing. If you watch it, it's a very powerful statement about stepping into your own power. Patricia Arquette, yes. But for me, the most touching aspect was what Graham Moore said. That's the thing that got me. He's the one who won the Oscar for Best Adapted Screenplay for The Imitation Game. And this is what he said. When I was 16, I tried to kill myself because I felt weird and I felt different and I felt like I did not belong. And now I'm standing here, and so I would like for this moment to be for that kid out there who feels like she's weird or she's different or she doesn't fit in anywhere. Yes, you do. I promise you do. We do. Stay weird. Stay different. And when it's your turn and you're standing on this stage, please pass the same message to the next person who comes along. And the crowd went crazy. And the internet exploded. And it was an interesting phenomenon because people assumed he was gay. And that what he was talking about was in relationship to him being a gay teenager who may have been bullied. We create stories in our mind, right? So everybody's creating their story that he was a gay teenager who was bullied, and then like he tried to commit suicide because of all. He's not gay. He said this later. He said, no, I'm not gay. What I'm speaking to is depression. That he is clinically, he suffers from clinical depression. And he felt suicidal as a teenager. But it's a lesson in how quickly assumptions can be made and how quickly we move to that thing that may or may not be in service to our expression of life. I mean, look at the subject of his film. It was easy to go there, right? The subject of his film was Alan Turing, who was gay, served an incredible service to humanity in what he did during World War II, and in 1954, at age 41, he committed suicide. It's a lesson in how quickly we can see someone as an other and not recognize them for who they are, which is someone who is exactly the same as each and every one of us is. None of us, not a single one of us, is an other. We are all one. We are all one. Our personal expression of God, as God, is just that. It is ours. So let's begin to own that today. Who do you show up as today, in this moment? Do you show up as someone who is laden with fear and concerned about what others think, or do you stand strong in who you are without nary a care for what somebody else thinks? Because you know what, quite frankly, there are going to be people who do not agree with you, and that's okay. Stand firm in who you are. Be authentic in your self-expression. Stand up, show up authentically. Stand firm in the expression of your personal God, your personal expression as God. Stay weird, stay different, and when it's your turn, please, please pass the same message along to the next person. Namaste. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the center today in terms of a financial contribution, a tithe, an investment, whatever you choose to call it. I invite you to hold it in your hand. Playing a little noodly stuff. I just turned to Fran. Can you noodle it a little bit? Because now
This is my lounge act. No. Take whatever it is you have to offer the center today and recognize it for what it is. It is an expression of this divine creative power, and it is flowing through this place in support of the work that we do, who we are, and how we show up. I have a vision for this center that is supportive of recognizing the greatness in all people. And this is what I choose to do every single Sunday. I stand up here and I see each and every one of you as an expression of greatness. And so whatever it is that you are giving today, recognize it and bless it. And recognize that the blessing comes from you, through you, because of who you are. Just take that moment of recognition. And as the baskets go around now, we're going to sing the song, I Love. And if you want to sing along, the lyrics are on your song sheet. I will also invite, if you would like to join in this expression of giving online, you can do so by clicking that donate button on the screen.
I live, I breathe, I give, I receive. I laugh, I love. I'm a part of what's here, what has been, what's still to be seen. I
I'll invite Carmen and Animal to do a blessing over the offering.
Money. All right, calm down, calm down. In the spirit of laughter and love and fun, which is all love, for everything is love. And this expression of giving is love. The act of receiving is love. So I say thank you to everyone for giving, for the love of giving, and allowing ourselves in the love and act of giving to also be open to receiving. For there is only love. I simply say thank you, and allow this love that is expressed here today to move through the center and move out from the center in glorious ways, touching the lives of everybody that we meet. So thank you. And I invite each and every one of us to say right here, right now, and so it is. Now. No!
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much. Just because you were playing that song and it made me think, it's my brain. Tangent. Okay, so when I was in Las Vegas, I saw an amazing show, the Cirque du Soleil show Love, which is where they used Beatles music. It was amazing. I think I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready. I feel complete in this moment, and I feel as though not much more needs to be said. So let's take to heart whatever it is that we've heard today. What is that personal place? What is that personal thing that you have heard that has touched you today? Allow that to be present with you right here and right now, right in this moment. When I forget we are one, and I regret things that I've done, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be, as I fill my mind with peace. I see it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Right here, right now, in this moment, in full recognition that this is the only moment that exists, this moment right now. There is nothing else. There is no future. There is no past. There is only this moment right here, right now. I take to heart a deeper understanding and an idea that there is only this one divine creative power. There is only this one resource, and it is who and what we are. Each of us pure, perfect expressions of divinity. Each of us living its life as our own, expressing its love as our own. We are divine. We are creative. We are the pure expression of spirit, for there is spirit and nothing else. And with this in mind, I understand and know that what has occurred here today and what occurs here right in this moment is a deeper, deeper understanding and conviction of this idea and how it expresses in our lives. I know that there is something that is known by means of each and every one of us here today that we get to walk out into the world with and touch 100 million lives in our very, very personalized way. And it may be looked upon as weird or different or other, but it is our authentic self showing up. And so I claim only our authentic selves in all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do. For each and every one of us is authentic. And so it is with gratitude that I allow this to unfold and I allow this to be. Gratitude for this message, gratitude for the words, gratitude for the life that I lead that leads me to deeper expressions of wisdom and understanding. I am grateful for everyone who made this service what it is today. I am grateful for everyone who came together in the expression of Shop Your Girlfriend's Closet. I'm grateful for the board members on duty today, Jim and Tony. I'm grateful for our greeters, Margaret Ann and Judy. I am grateful for Lori for setting up, Dane on sound, Ram on the camera. I'm grateful for Chris in the bookstore, and I'm grateful for the entire music team, the Queen Street Band. I'm grateful to each and every person who made their presence known here today. I am grateful for Judy and her meditation this morning. I'm grateful to Carmen and her words of wisdom. I am grateful. And so in gratitude, I simply release this word to the immutable law that says, yes, it is done right here and right now. In the very speaking of it, it is done. And it is demonstrated perfectly. So knowing this to be so, I allow it to be so, as together we say, and so it is now. When things go wrong and my way is dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be, as I fill my mind with peace. I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Thank you. And so finally, let's kick it into the street with Listen to the Music. Thank you all for a great, great Sunday, and I will look forward to seeing you out there for Shop Your Girlfriend's Closet, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week as well. Hit it!
Feel free to dance. Don't you feel it growing day by day? People getting ready for the news. Some castles in the sky, and the crowd is growing bigger. Listening for the happy sounds, I gotta let them fly. Oh, listen to the music. Oh, listen to the music. Oh, listen to the music all the time. One, two.